Hello, everybody. This is the Unbiased fan, Brim Reaper. Um, let's talk about it. First and foremost, Bivol. He made it look easier. He didn't have to fight as hard to get the win in comparison to Canelo. He might not have won as wide as margin, but he won easier. Weird, huh? Both can be true. Bivol has definitely solidified himself, in my opinion, as fighter of the year. Uh, Maybe Bam has a case. Um, Younger Charlo only fought once, even though it was undisputed. And Haney, even though he won undisputed, it was twice against Cambosis, who was kind of really just holding it, for him. Um, Give him props for doing it, and he's moving like a phenomenal champion so far, especially if he goes in and fights Loma next. You know, he's definitely representing very well. But when it comes to fighter of the year, it's really Bivol, and then maybe Bam. But at the end of the day, it's Bivol for me. If I had a vote, if there was a such thing to vote for. So shout out to him for having a phenomenal fight. Really masterclassing in boxing. He's looking like a top five skilled fighter. He is definitely, if not on some people's top five list, he's right there on the borderline at this point. So salute to you, bro. You looking good out there, man. Your name is up too because of how you're boxing. So, congratulations, bro, on a phenomenal year. So that's just my opinion in regards to that. Another thing, troubling thing I have to talk about is the protection and safety of boxers. This is not good. I can't pronounce brother's name, but you know, after that fight, it was clear that Morrell was hands down had to fight. Eighth round, you could have stopped the fight. And I was on Boxing Gym's channel. I was working that night, and he had the R&B joints cracking. You know what I mean? It was classic joints. Enjoying the music while working and watching the fights, and it really was clear that the fight should have been stopped earlier. And I think that is a problem in boxing. There should be certain checklists if there isn't already in place to see when a fight needs to be stopped. Tony Weeks should have stopped it. His corner should have stopped it. And now, unfortunately, we have somebody that's in an induced coma. I hope and pray that he makes it out fine. But this could have been avoided. And this is something that hurts mainstream pop chances for boxing because death, you know, and helping avoid that when these fighters are getting in this ring, looking out for their best interest for their health should be paramount. And I don't know if that happened in this fight because we were all watching the same fight, and literally after the eighth round, the fight was over. And it should have been stopped, not going all the way to the 12th and him getting knocked down. And it's sad to see, bro. It's sad to see. So I do hope and pray that he comes out all right. Sorry, I didn't even try to say his name. I know it starts with O. I just can't pronounce it properly, so I wasn't going to do that. But listen, prayer to him, man. For real, phenomenal fight for the young man that's coming up. But that fight should have been stopped. Moving on. I'm seeing some of the YouTube community putting out stuff to boycott Bud fight. I mean, when you look at it in totality, 2022 fight with Spence wasn't happening. He got this fight. We're not dealing with a fighter that's outside of the top 10. And then when you look in the top 10, it's notable noted that a lot of PPC fighters in there, a Showtime fighter and a DAZN fighter in there, and no one PLK Prime and what their options were for getting the belt fight in 2022 was pretty limited. But I can understand not being happy for the particular opponent because we were wanting the biggest fight in boxing. But to lambast it, in the way that it's being lambasted, it's a little disingenuous, just a little bit. It's understandable that saying, hey, we rather have the Spence fight, but knowing the dynamics and all that, and everyone plays a role, a little bit of blame goes everywhere. It's not one party that gets all the blame for the situation when you look at the landscape of everything. But you know, that leads me into the last point. Wednesday, 8 o'clock, against my brother's best wishes, I'm going to go put a beating on somebody because the fanboy shit got to stop. I'm a fan of boxing more than a fan of or disliker of one fighter. And that's what I'm debating against. And, that's why the hoodie's on and Brim Reaper's going to be out. And I ain't got to raise my voice or bash Spence to make the points that I'm going to make. So tune in Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Central time. No, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central. I'll share the link. I'm not going to give this person no promo, in all honesty, because I'm here to for multiple reasons. Because I'm not for the disrespect. I don't disrespect. I might disagree, but I'm gonna stand on my square. You know, And if I'm wrong about something, I'm wrong about something. I don't have no problems with, somebody coming at me. You can talk cash shit, but when it gets past a certain level and you move a certain way and do certain things, it's kind of weak. And part of the reason why I'm even doing this debate is because of that. Because birds of a feather flock together. If you fucking with a dude to do fuck shit and you never address it and you condone it, that shows a little bit of your character in a sense. My brothers, if I feel like they out of pocket, I'm gonna tell them. You know what I mean? It might not be in public, but I'm gonna tell them. I see people letting people do the most outrageous shit that if it was in the streets, it'd be a whole different conversation. It'd be a little extra, and it'd be going places it don't need to go, especially when we're just talking boxing. This is just boxing. We love the sport. But the fanboy and the extra shit is kind of weak, bro. It's real weak. And, it is what it is. But I just wanted to share the three thoughts in regards to what going on the fight weekend, which was one, Bivol's locking down the fighter of the year, in my opinion, and his continued ascension on the pound per pound list. Second, safety in boxing, because we had a fight this weekend where someone is now in a coma that should have clearly been stopped previously. And then, the lead into my debate that's coming up soon, and why I'm doing it in the first place, because I really, in some ways, don't even want to do it, because I don't have such a, I'm not on Bud's side to the point where I'm just like, complete bashing, the other side. There's some things that I don't like that transpired, but when I got the whole picture, it made me kind of like calm down and say, you know what, maybe it's the timing and there's multiple other facets just with it. So, everybody gets a little bit of blame at least. But yeah, tune in. I appreciate y'all giving me time and listening to me, But with that, it's Reaper out. You're